There we go. We're actually going to get VK3 Sugar Mike Whiskey while we're... here we go, Steve.
No problem at all there, mate. I'll give Hector a call.
Look at this. A little bit of dust on this at the moment. We're just... oh, boy. Look at this lineup.
Sierra Mike Whiskey QSL.
Isn't this beautiful? Let me just turn Steve down for a minute. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got original box, TS820, SP820, VFO820, AT200. These are all the original bits that go with the 820. They are just a beautiful matching lineup. And yes, all of it comes with books. Absolutely stunning. Not only books, service manual, you know, I mean, yeah. So this, the story with this, it came from Adelaide. Now, I bought this in these boxes in Adelaide 11 to 12 years ago. And my thought was I was going to set it up at 2 Wells as a bit of a station with some other gear, and obviously that never happened. So it got transported over to Tangambalanga, and it never got out the boxes. It has been in those boxes for 11 to 12 years. So when we bought these up, we obviously brought the voltage up nice and slowly and made sure that we weren't going to blow anything up. And it all went extremely well. This is just a beautiful, beautiful lineup there.
Barry. And we did have another DX station calling in also.
Good signal, Steve. You're coming in well. We're just on a dipole at the moment too, so it's nothing exciting.
Put a call out for him, mate. That Whiskey 5 station, QRZ.
Now, one of the things about the turn that volume down again. One of the things about the 820s, a few little service hints. Actually, let's go through the first one. We did when we pulled it out of the box. This is another board out of another 820. We've got a few 820s here, but I just thought I'd show you as an example. You can get where the caps will start to get a little bit sort of lifted, and you'll see they start to lift. This one's not too bad, but the one that was in here that we replaced was actually causing the audio. To be honest, what was happening was this audio here was distorting it about here. And it was really not good, and that cap was obviously causing a problem. Now, the other thing with 820s is there's a connector just here underneath this lid. Now, it comes from the VFO over, it's off the display board, etc. And that connector sometimes will make your VFO so that you'll be going along and you'll suddenly go, oh, no, that's missing. It's blinked off, blinked back on, blinked off, blinked, you know, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, this VFO is running absolutely beautifully, you know, sort of, it's really just, and look, to be fair, look, I have done a couple of little servicey things on this radio just to sort of make sure that we've got, just to make sure that we've got things working, you know, working well with the fact that it has been sitting in boxes for so long. Deoxit D5 is your friend. Remember that it makes life so much easier. It really does, and you know, it really can save you a lot of time and energy when you're, especially with something like this, where a lot of the time, even you'll get problems with these edge connectors here, and same with display edge connectors. That's what we were talking about before on the top of the radio. So basically, just remember, before you even start fault finding, go and, you know, clean all these, deoxidize, do what you can to clean up all your connectors first, because a lot of the time you'll find that's exactly what your problem is. Now, I'm just going to do a quick power test. I already know what this does, but I'm just going to go to CW, make sure we're not on top of anybody there. We seem to be pretty good. Heaters are on, yeah, good. Now, I don't know if we're tuned at that frequency, but 116 watts, down about 90 just for a second there, 117. Yeah, okay, we'll have to say that that is really performing. Those tubes are doing well, and that's the other thing that you've got to be a little bit mindful of. Have the tubes gone gassy? Is there a problem with tubes that have been lying around for too long? Is there any cap issues? I've had the covers off, both covers off this to have a look. One of the first things we do, we don't actually just turn it on. As I was saying before, we run it up slow, but the first thing we do is we pull the covers, have a look at what's obvious and what's not. So we're looking for, like we said here with caps, but on the bigger caps, we're looking for raised sections, things that just don't look right, things that look like they may be in trouble. And the reason we leave the covers off is when we do power up and we bring it up at 90 volts, 100 volts, 110 volts, then we gradually bring it up to 230, 240 volts. We're keeping an eye on things as well, trying to see, is there anything in this back section, the HV section? Is there anything causing any trouble that can possibly, make your day not so good? And I'm really happy to say all the HV caps on this look brilliant. Everything through the final stage looked very good. Just a little, isn't it crazy? A little fella in the audio stage, that was given trouble, which you sort of think, would have been nice to not have to find that, but anyway, that's all good. This is going to a very, very good mate of mine, and he wanted specifically, he knows 820s very well, actually, I'm just going to say this too, you know who you are. When you get home, just set the calibrate up on it. I haven't bothered to set the calibrate because these things will change by the time I knock it into the box. The one thing you'll find with 820s is that when you get it into their final position, do your calibration. If you're then going to put it in a car and jump around the place with it a few times, there's a bit of an old joke with 820s that you could tighten the screws and it would change calibration. That's actually not a joke. That can happen. It's really weird, but anyway. So just to my chap who's picking this up, give the calibration, it'll be a couple of hundred hertz off, I guarantee you. I haven't bothered to put it right because I just know it's going to change by the time you get home. Let's have a bit of a look. Oh, let's go back to lower sideband so we can hear.
Are you hearing Mark there?
See, these guys are probably on 7179 point. No, probably 7180, I don't know. But yeah, we could be a few hundred hertz off here at the moment. I'd have to go check on my other one to check what they're actually on.
Unfortunately, sometimes the conditions run better in one.
I'm trying to remember whether they use 7179 or 7180. So these guys are either 800 hertz off or 200 hertz off. So when you get home, calibrate that. It's a very simple. You know how to. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to the educated. Already knows. He knows how to do this. But so there you go. Look, they were. Turn that down. They were a lovely radio. Obviously, you had to remember how to, tune your load, plate, and drive, etc. And sure, I'm running this in slow AGC at the moment.
Do you want to put a call out for him?
Just go to fast AGC there.
I try because I haven't got a Yaki.
Oh, that's Yuri. It's been a while since I've heard Yuri. Good to hear him back on.
Alpha, Victor, Kilo 3, America, Tokyo, America.
And then you go back to slow AGC. Noise maker, Vox, etc. They did have a compressor on these, so you could you pulled that knob there.
Yuri, I'm not sure.
Turn these guys down. You pulled that knob there to put the compressor on. It was a good compressor. It worked all right, no problems. The rest of it was always pretty basic, just RIT, IF shift. They didn't have a notch filter that came out in the 530 and the 830 series, and that was all right. Certainly good. RF attenuator, which you can see actually works quite well. Very well. And obviously all your VFO control functions, etc., etc. The antenna tuners on these, sorry about the dust on this one. Obviously we just pulled it straight out the box and put it here, so I'll probably take the dust off before I put it back in the box, to be fair. Probably should have done that. But yeah, a nice antenna tuner, and they could certainly sort of tune the odd wire pretty well, actually. They weren't too bad. The rest of it's pretty simple, just speaker and external VFO that nobody ever uses, and I shouldn't say that, but it's true, isn't it? It does, I suppose, but very rare. But yeah, really nice radio. It's good that Steve's on to give it a bit of a test, actually.
I'll put it back down to Bill there.
Didn't come with a mic, this one, so unfortunately we're just selling it as we got it. But I know that it will modulate quite okay because I grabbed one earlier. I'll put it back in the other room, actually. I was thinking I should say g'day to these guys, but they look like they're too busy talking away for... Yeah, they've got a lot of people on frequency. I won't try to call in. Geez, people are strong tonight. This thing receives beautifully, so yeah. All right, so that's the TS820 as a lineup, and you don't get much better than, you know, box and books and all the bits and pieces. So I think this has really turned out to be a good find. Okay, so there you go. There's my quick 10-minute video on the TS820 lineup that is going to a great mate of mine, so there's no need to contact me on this one. We do have other 820s, but I think even a couple of those are spoken for too, so I don't know how many are really left. So if you have interest in a 820, a 520, I think we've got some 530s, some bandos. There's a lot of other alternatives, but I think we're going to be pretty close to maybe there's one 820 left out of the 3 or 4 we've got here. Anyway, you know how to contact me, Brenton at posnav.com.au for the email. And it's so good to hear Steve on there. He's so strong. It's brilliant. He's a great mate of mine, so it's good to use him as the crash test dummy on the 820. All right, 73s, guys, thanks very much. Certainly the new owner's going to have a lot of fun with this. Cheers, guys.